Okay, today we're going to work with least common multiples. So we've got these 2 pages that are in our notebooks. Put a dot in each corner. Hopefully we're getting better at our gluing skills. And these are pages 16 and 17. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the different ways we can, oh, I almost forgot our title. Least common multiple. Make sure you're filling out your table of contents as well. This takes up 2 pages. It's our last day in Unit 1, and you can just put LCM. Okay. So there are a couple different ways that we can find the least common multiple of 2 numbers. The first way, the way that we're familiar with in elementary school, is to list out the factors. So if I were going to list out the factors of 4, I would start out with the first 5. So that would be 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Okay? And then with 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. So then my next step would be to see if they have any numbers in common. That common from least common multiple means, do they have anything in common? Well, I can see that 20 and 20 both appear. So our least common multiple is 20. That one's not too bad. We've got, we only had to list out 5 multiples of each number, and we came up with a match. Now, if our numbers were much larger, which they will get much larger, then listing them out would be quite a task. So same thing with 8 and 6. The first 5 multiples of 8 are 8, 16, 24, 32, and 40. Our first 5 multiples of 6 are 6, 12, 18, 24, and 30. So I can again see we have something in common. We have 24 in both of these. So our least common multiple is 24. Okay. So this one was, again, easy one. It only took the first 5 multiples to figure out what our least common multiple was. So another way we could do this is by using the ladder method. When we use the ladder method, we've been doing this for prime factorization and greatest common factor. We pull out a factor that both numbers have in common. So let's pull out a 2, since both of these are even. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Do 2 and 5 have any numbers in common other than 1? No. So what we do is we create an L. just like this, and we multiply everything inside of our L. So we would do 2 times 2 times 5, which would give us 4 times 5, which is 20. So our least common multiple is 20. Same thing down here. With 8 and 6, we can also pull out a 2. That leaves us with 4 and 3. 4 and 3 are consecutive numbers. That means they have nothing in common except for a 1. So I'm going to make our L and multiply everything inside. That would be 2 times 4 times 3. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 times 3 is 24. Okay. So let's continue our practice, but let's keep using the ladder method. We have 6 and 20. Put them in our L. They're both even, so let's take out a 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 20 divided by 2 is 10. 3 and 10 don't have anything else in common, so I'm going to make the L, multiply everything inside. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 10 would be 60. So our least common multiple equals 60. Make sure you're circling your answer. We want to get in the habit of that. Okay, so now we have 7 and 10. 7 and 10, do they have anything in common? Are they both even? Are they both divisible by 3, by 5, by 7? No. So we have a little rule. Let's put a star right here. If two numbers have no common factors, and that is other than 1, all numbers have a 1 in common, multiply them together. So since 7 and 10 don't have anything in common, we're going to multiply. So our least common multiple would be 70. All right, let's move on. So we have some word problem clues for least common multiple. If a word problem is looking for the least common multiple, it may ask for the next time, I'm going to underline that, the next time things will occur. So these are going to be like repeated events. Think about time. Time is something that repeats over and over. So it's talking about time. When is the next time they will happen at the same time? That would be least common multiple. Or if it says, when will it happen again? That's another clue for least common multiple. Also, if it asks for the least amount of things, so the least, underline that, of things you can have for everyone to get the same. Okay, so let's read some examples. Ben exercises every 12 days and Isabel every 8 days. Ben and Isabel both exercised today. How many days will it be until they exercise together again? Okay, so they're looking for together again. That's our key words. And we've got 12 and 8. So let's go ahead and put that in our ladder. 12 and 8. These are both even, so let's take out a 2. That leaves me with 6 and 4. Those are both even, so let's make another L. Take out a 2. That leaves me with 3 and 2. So big L. Okay, our least common multiple is going to be 2 times 2 times 3 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 2 is 6. 4 times 6 is going to be 24. And since this is a word problem, we have to have a label. And we are looking at how many days. So every 24 days, Ben and Isabel will exercise together. Next, Riley wants to make egg biscuits to sell at a fundraiser. Eggs come in packs of 12, and biscuits come in packs of 9. What is the least number of egg biscuits Riley can make to have an equal number of each? Okay, so we want to underline least. That's one of our key words. And we're looking at 12 and 9. So we've got 12 and 9. Put that into a ladder. 12 and 9 are both divisible by 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 3 and 4 are consecutive numbers, meaning they have nothing in common. So make our big L, and our least common multiple would be 3 times 4 times 3. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 times 3 is 36. And what were we talking about? That would be 36 egg biscuits. Okay, last example. Hot 96 gave away a $100 bill for every 100th caller. Every 30th caller received free concert tickets. How many callers must get through before one of them receives both a $100 bill and concert tickets? Okay, so this is a repeated event. We're talking about every 100th caller and every 30th caller. So how many callers must get through before one of them receives both a $100 bill and concert tickets. So our numbers are 100th caller and 30th caller. Put that into our ladder. 100 and 30. They're both even, so we're going to take out a 2. That would leave us with 50 and 15. Both of these numbers are divisible by 5. 50 divided by 5 is 10. 15 divided by 5 is 3. Nothing else can be taken out of 10 and 3, so make your L. Our least common multiple is 2 times 5 times 10 times 3. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 times 3 is 30. 10 times 30 would be 300. What were we talking about? The caller, so it would be the 300th caller. All right, that wraps it up.